You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast. And this is show number 581 for Sunday, the 1st of February, 2026.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jayne Phipps, we are your guide to the place where dreams begin. Well, Jayne, I have gone and done it. I was sat on the edge of my seat as I watched Leslie Iwerks' amazing documentary, and I took your top tip and I watched it on YouTube for no adverts.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's an amazing piece of documentary work, isn't it? I think it's one of those, I think I said last week, I would quite happily sit down and watch it again, even though it's only like a little while since I watched it. There's just something about it. I've not heard anybody say anything negative about it at all.
Yeah, it was beautifully put together. I was in awe of the health and safety regulations that had obviously been adhered to very, very coherently. Actually, it seemed to be that the safety measure was, if you're not smoking while you're working, you're being unsafe.
Maybe it was like a balance for them or something, I don't know. It was the bits where you got lads going up on girders that are X number of tens of feet in the air with no harnesses. There was no such thing as hard hats. I don't even suppose that their boots have got steel toe caps in. It was phenomenal. And then you add in how quickly everything came together as well. And I also thought as well, we were talking about this today, you know when you go onto a building site nowadays, because obviously I'm on a building site every day of the week, but you know when you see footage and they'll have like little orange flags marking out where things are going? There was none of that. How did they know what they were putting and where they were putting it? Boggles the brain that they created what they did when we struggle to create things nowadays, and we've got all the mod cons, all the tech, all the safety, and we seem to make it a much more long and drawn out affair and more complicated than 1954.
It's weird. It's a weird world. Anyway, we have got a fun-packed show for you ahead this week. So thank you for tuning in. Very much appreciated. Please do remember to share our show on your social media channels so that other people can find us. It would be very much appreciated. So we are starting this week with a very special bit of Disney news.
Oh, go on then.
I want to say news. It's Disney history, really.
Oh, we like a bit of history.
Insert theme song for birthday song. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. So, 1947, this Disney Imagineer was born in Los Angeles, California. Put your hand up when you realise who it is. He was first hired at the Disneyland Resort in 1965, and his first role was scooping ice cream.
Okay.
He then went on to become Senior Vice President of Creative Development at Walt Disney Imagineering. He's worked for Disney for 47 years. His career highlights include Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, the original Journey into Imagination Pavilion, Star Tours, and the redesign of Star Tours, and finally Splash Mountain. I imagine by now everybody has got their hands up in the air saying, yep, 1947, 1st of February, Tony Wayne Baxter was born.
Another person that we have a lot to be thankful for.
Absolutely. I have to say a massive thank you to Stephen Klemowski because of him and him being able to get access to a very select gathering of people, Give Kids the World Village, I was able to go to a presentation by Tony Baxter
I remember.
as he shared how Figment and the whole pavilion came to be. Our Patreon's got that audio. So if you haven't listened to it and want to, if you become one of our Patreons, you'll be able to get access to all that back history. You know,
See what you did
all
there,
it
Michelle?
costs, yes, you know, $5 a month or above. That's what it'll entitle you to. So, amazing man, absolutely blown away to have met him, had conversation with him. He signed my figment ears, which are like guarded by bodyguards because they are so precious to me. And little quote from him I found: I used to open the carnation shop at 6 a.m, and I'd see a delivery truck out front bringing the milk and the ice cream. And you won't believe this, but it's true. A number of times Walt himself drove the milk truck. Can you imagine? The man who built the park was also delivering the milk and ice cream. He wanted to enjoy every aspect of this park he had created. He had a gift for keeping in touch with everyday people because he learned from them, and he used what he learned to improve the park.
Well, we could have a big conversation about that, couldn't we? That is a classic quote, and perhaps current incumbents need to think about that one a bit more.
I do have another piece of news from this day, and sadly it's somebody's passing, 1966. And back then in the day, people had have their little gossip columnists, and this lady was the creme de la creme. Hedda Hopper passed away on this day in 1966, and she began her career writing a newspaper column in 1938 for the Los Angeles Times, and it then went into a 15-minute radio program. But at the heart of everything, she was deep down a Disney fan, and her prized possession was a signed print from Walt to Hedda from Walt, and that hung proudly in her office. So yeah, fantastic.
It's a name I've heard of, but I hadn't realised the connection.
Yeah. So that's basically all I've got for this week's news. But I do have a little bit of a nod to a famous female Disney Imagineer.
Who we got this week?
Ellie Erlandson.
Oh, not a name I'm familiar with.
Well, the name might give you a hint that obviously she is not a native to the American soil. She was born of immigrant parents, and she desperately wanted to study art, but they were wanting her to study medicine or engineering. They eventually agreed on architecture, which at the time was a male-dominated profession. But for many years, she was the only woman at Imagineering who had an architectural license, and she's worked on 11 of the 12 Disney theme parks.
Wow.
She says the favourite project she worked on: I am fortunate that all the projects I worked on hold special memories and also positive resolutions to difficult challenges that needed our attention. Working on the Epcot World Showcase project is probably one of my most memorable experiences, even though travelling for research for Disney's Animal Kingdom throughout the African continent with 3 of my colleagues remains extremely high on the list. On the Epcot project, it was her steepest learning curve due to what is thematic design, and she had the privilege of working beside some of the original Imagineers. She says she worked with an incredible group of professionals with different talents, all working towards a similar goal of let's make this happen. Let's make it the best it could be. And I was encouraged to use all of my talents without being put in one category. How lovely.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely fantastic. Her favourite attraction is the first time she went to Disneyland Park. It was in her early teens. They had emigrated originally from Brazil. She was impressed by everything in the park. Those early years, she loved going to sail over London in Peter Pan's flight. She loved the speed of the Matterhorn and going on the submarine voyage. Oh,
it's quite a nice tie back into the Leslie Iwerks documentary. It was amazing watching them construct the Peter Pan flight and not having ever been done before.
Absolutely. So very exciting stuff there.
Yeah.
So that's basically all I have for this week for that, but I do know we've got a little bit of news from you, Jay, and then I have got a listener question I would
Ooh.
like to try and answer. So,
Okay.
Jane.
Yeah, just a little bit of a glance over some of the news happening at the moment. There's lots of little things happening, particularly within Disney World. I think Frozen Ever After has just gone down as we are recording this. They're replacing the infamous animatronics for that ride, getting rid of those lovely projection faces and putting proper ones in. So we don't know when that's reopening, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be too long. And talking about cast members and Imagineers and the like, if you could pop over to the Disney Parks blog, they've got a lovely piece on their site about a cast member appreciation evening that they had, where they literally closed down the Magic Kingdom, and it's just for these particular honorees and their families, people that are celebrating significant milestones working for Disney. There was a lady who has worked for 50 years within Disney World, and she's, quote, a 50-year cast member at 50's Primetime Cafe. Obviously, it wouldn't be 50 years at Primetime Cafe, but I just thought it was kind of cute that the connection there was made. And there's a lovely little story of a guy who is a senior producer now for Walt Disney Imagineering. He actually started off at Disney World at the age of 17 working on Star Tours.
Oh.
And he's now had 35 years working for Disney World. Company has given me opportunities beyond anything I imagined, and celebrating with the cast members who shaped my journey is an honour. So, you know, when we have these little things where the parks are closed early, this was one of those occasions, and it was done just special for all those cast members who, as we have said time and time again, make any trip to any Disney park. So yeah, Disney Parks blog, go and have a look over there. You can read all about it. Great to see Disney recognising that it is the people that make the parks for us as guests visiting.
I know through friends that have been employed by Disney, are still employed by Disney in the theme parks. They've only spoke to me how positive the experience is, and that they do feel that they do have these little things that Disney do to celebrate them. So that is great, and I will urge everybody, if you have a fantastic cast experience, please use the app and leave a compliment, or go to the City Hall, leave a personal explanation of why that person did something amazing. Because I remember my good friend Wendy Cooper talking about, she'd only worked at Disneyland for a couple of days, and she'd already got filtered through one of these cast compliments, and she said they really do mean a great deal to the cast that work there.
Yeah, I must admit, it's something that we always try and remember to do. And if we can't do it whilst we're there, Simon's very good. He'll always make a little note on his phone, and we'll get round to it later on and make sure those people get the recognition that they deserve.
What else have you got, Jayne?
Well, in other news, just a quickie on Disney Cruise Line. So we had this awful story last year where a little girl had fell out of a porthole on the Disney Dream. It's been noticed that those portholes now have an extra barrier in front of them. So it's a railing with a wooden handrail, and then the railing itself has got the plastic perspex, so you can't climb up the railing. So they've obviously taken on board what had happened, even though, you know, it was not really Disney's fault per se, but they've actually gone there and put extra measures in place. So that's on the Disney Dream. So as you walk around the promenade on deck 4, you'll notice some extra railings have been put in place. And then a little bit of Animal Kingdom, because we've got Dinosaur is closing this weekend. As this show goes out, Dinosaur will have been closed. Interestingly, it's had, I think yesterday when I was looking up the information, it had the highest wait time at Animal Kingdom over and above Flight of Passage, which actually was the third highest, because in between Flight of Passage and Dinosaur was Navi River Journey. Anyway, we'll gloss over that one. So yes,
random.
Very random. So yes, the Dinosaur is closing. 28 years it's been going.
Wow.
28 years. So I managed to say goodbye to it March last year. I then unexpectedly was able to say goodbye to it in November of last year. I know you said your goodbyes as well. So we wait and see what Indiana Jones is going to be like over there now.
Well, it is interesting as recording now that Avatar Flight of Passage is a mere 45-minute wait and Dinosaur is 35 minutes. And that's going to be 12:35 over there. So it doesn't seem to me that Animal Kingdom is busy today because even Expedition Everest is 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, maybe people are saving to say goodbye to the very last day. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like. Cali River Rapids is only 5 minutes. I wonder, could it be cold in Florida?
Yeah, I think they've got a bit of an issue at the moment, haven't they, with the weather? It's not the warmest of times for them, bless them. And then a little knock-on effect of Dinosaur. We've seen the closure of Restaurantosaurus, and Harambe Market has now got a opening date. It's kind of opening a little bit earlier than was maybe first indicated. So that is going to be opening on the 5th of February. They've released the menu for there as well. So what they've basically done is they're bringing over some of the staples that you would have expected to have found at Restaurantosaurus, so like the Angus bacon cheeseburger, chicken strips, that type of thing. They're now going to be available out of Harambe along with the harissa chicken wrap. But over at Kusafari Bake Shop, they've now got the rice bowls that you would have had over at Harambe. So the nice thing is Kusafari is now open lunchtime. So you've got an extra place over there. So it's just a little bit of a heads up that you can still get those basic sorts of fuss-free type of foods, but now they're over at Harambe Market. I did say they've got something called, I'm going to butcher this pronouncement, called a kubwa cookie, which is a cookie that's topped with chocolate cream cookies, potato chips, M&M's and dulce de leche.
Oh, salted caramel.
Well, yeah, potato chips on. I'm presuming they must be salted potato chips to give that salt and sweet sort of vibe. But I just read it. I thought, oh, that's a bit weird, but maybe it will work. Somebody needs to go and try it for me and let me know whether it works or not. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah, just a little bit of news happening over at Animal Kingdom. So, yeah, there we go.
Disney dining plan.
Yeah.
Now, for us in the UK, intermittently, Disney will sell a package where you can get what they class as a free dining plan with your hotel reservation. Technically, yeah, it is free, but perhaps it's already been factored into the room rate that you are paying is maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
You can also pay for it out of pocket as well and add it on. And a lot of families do choose to do this because it helps budget as well.
Yeah.
So Disney dining plan, it's for everybody in your party, aged 3 or above. And the table service meal plan, which is what I'm going to be talking a little bit about today, you can have one a day. And there are some places that you can redeem that one.
Yeah.
Or there are some places that actually class as a fine or signature, and that means it's 2 table service meals per person. So say, for example, you're there for 4 nights, you get 4 table service credits.
Yeah.
You could do 2 signatures.
Yes.
And there's your 4 gone.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
And it's equivalent to either a buffet entry or a main and dessert and a non-alcoholic or alcoholic drink per meal. So that's what I'm going to be looking at today. So the question was basically from our lovely friend Craig Lucas. He has got his table service dining plans. What would I suggest that I would recommend for people to utilise their credits on? So I started looking at the places that have 2 table service credits, and I've worked out which ones are the worst value, in my opinion, to the best value, in my opinion.
Okay.
And again, listeners, get in touch, info@disneydreamgirls.com or @disdreamgirls on Instagram. Let us know what your feelings are. But this is what I felt. And I haven't included everyone. These are just the ones I really want to talk a little bit about.
Yeah.
So these are the ones where you get to have to give over 2 meal credits.
Okay.
And I think one of the worst value points you can use, it's for storybook dining at Artist Point. It's $69 or your 2 table service credits. That to me doesn't give great value. There is a much better way of spending your money because it's a fixed price.
Mm-hmm.
I personally wouldn't use a table service for that. I wouldn't. And I wouldn't be paying for it out of pocket. It's a one and done. I've done it. And whilst the food is okay, it's not memorable.
Ah, okay, yeah.
The next one is at the same price point of $69, but again, it's 2 credits. And this is for Akershus over there in Norway at Epcot for lunch and dinner. Again, $69 if you're paying for it or 2 table service credits. Again, I think you can get a much better bang for your buck. And the same goes for Be Our Guest. That's 2 credits and $72.
Oh, okay.
The next one is Hoop-de-Doo. 2 credits, $78.
Okay.
Now you're starting to get to a little bit more value for your money now. Cinderella's Royal Table, $89. So I'm starting to feel there's a
it's getting up a little bit, yeah.
Personally, would I use my credits there? Absolutely not. But if you've not done it and you want to eat in the castle and you like meeting princesses, then yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'd be probably going for these options. Hollywood Brown Derby is worth $92, roughly, if you get the most expensive meal and the most expensive dessert and an expensive alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, and this is where the game comes in, isn't it? This is where, to get your bang for your buck, you need to be looking at these expensive options.
Yeah, you're not going to go somewhere like Hollywood Brown Derby and have a pasta dish at $23.
No.
You're going to go for the $50 plus steak.
Absolutely.
Because you want to get value, you know.
Yeah.
The next one on my list is $94, and personally, it's not a place I'd be running to, but some people highly recommend it, is Morimoto Asia down at Disney Springs.
Interesting.
The next one I praise so highly, and I cannot wait to go back there. My top tip is I ordered a kids' meal. I paid for it out of pocket. I think my meal, I got a starter kids' meal and a dessert. I think it came to about $50. I left a very generous tip, and I think the food there is exceptional. It's perhaps not a place to go if you are not adventurous, because there are quite some challenging combinations of flavours, but try it. It's amazing. Even if you just want to go and get a dessert.
And where's this, Michelle?
This is Gico, the cooking place over at Animal Kingdom.
Nice place to visit as well.
Animal Kingdom Lodge is absolutely phenomenal. Go for early dinner and then go out to the savannah and go and look out in their viewing areas and watch the sunset. Beautiful. The next one, that I got the maths to come to just over $100. Again, it's somewhere I personally wouldn't eat.
Okay.
But again, I mention it in case Craig and his family do fancy going for this, and it's paddlefish.
Not something I would necessarily think about going to, I have to admit.
No. And another one that I personally would not go to because I don't like the experience. In my mind, Le Cellier is quite dark. You're very cramped and next to the next table. But it comes out as really good value at $106 if you are going to order the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
So what am I going to recommend that you spend your credits on? All of these come in at over $100 per person. So it makes it really good value when you compare it to the one I started with at Artist Point at $69. We have got Flying Fish, phenomenal. They have an amazing cheese plate. It is delicious. And I know it's got fish in the title, but their steak is amazing. Absolutely fabulous. You could go to Animal Kingdom and eat at Tiffin's. A lot of people do love the food there, but perhaps the portion sizing is a little bit on the teeny side
Light
for some
side.
people. Citrico's, $104. Again, exceptional food, well worth using your credits for. Narcoossee's, again, over at Grand Floridian. That comes out at $109. Another one for dinner, Topolino's Terrace. Now, I'm putting this basically tied with the other two, purely because at Topolino's Terrace, you can go onto the terrace and have a fantastic view of fireworks over at different parks.
Yeah. It's a beautiful position to have that. It's actually up there.
Yeah. And the food and the setting is beautiful. So if you haven't been there for dinner, go there for dinner. Yachtsman Steakhouse, again, quite an expensive place, but 2 table service credits do work out in your favour. The last one is the Boathouse. That's worth 2 credits.
Wow.
And that is the most expensive combination I could get to, which was about $115.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm thinking about the places that offer 1 credit.
Okay.
And I've ranked them. This isn't necessarily just on the price point. It's a little bit about the experience.
Okay, yeah.
So the least recommended, in my opinion, for 1 credit is Chef de France. I have been very disappointed when I've eaten there before. The price point, you can stick it to them at about $80 odd, but it just didn't resonate with me. Crystal Palace for dinner, $64 is the fixed price meal cost. Yeah, okay. It's not my kind of eating, but if you want to have a wide selection of a buffet choice, you've got that at $64. Yak and Yeti comes over $60 as well, so that's another good one. And then these other ones, I think, work out really, really good. And I just want to spend a moment or two just to share a little bit about the menu. I always moan that at Magic Kingdom, the food options are not great. And I normally leave the park to eat. Elsewhere, I can't praise enough the Jungle Navigation Company Limited Skipper Canteen, because the food there is really good.
Right.
Really good. There is an amazing choice on the appetizers, ranging in price from $10 to $15. Again, with your dining plan, it's only an entree and dessert. So that's all I'm counting it on.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the entrees, there are a range of things, and the most expensive entree on their menu is Dr. Fall's signature grilled steak, and that's $41.
Okay.
You're not going to go there and buy the curried vegetable crew stew at $23. You're gonna get it as expensive as you can. Their desserts aren't that expensive. They're about $9.50. They're all okay, you know. And then obviously it's the alcoholic beverage that you're going to be able to really get that price point up in value.
Yeah.
They have a sunset margarita at $18.50. So I'd say there is value here at Jungle Navigation. The next one I have on my list, it's a fixed price buffet. It's Tusker House over at Animal Kingdom. I think that's a pretty solid choice. I'm going to then move to a hotel-based one. And this to me is something you don't hear a lot of people talking about. And it's Toledo.
Okay, yeah. I must admit, it wouldn't necessarily always click into my radar.
Yeah, Coronado Springs Resort. And to me, the food here is really exciting if you like that type of food. I personally do enjoy this type of cuisine. They have a fillet of beef at $41. They have a seared salmon at $40. So you're getting some pricey entrees there. Then you've got your desserts. You can have their Basque cheesecake at $11, which is sensational. But the reason why I'd suggest you go there is they have a progressive dessert tasting with the flavours of vanilla cheesecake, lemon curd, raspberry mousse, chocolate mousse, and a Spanish coffee custard. That sounds phenomenal.
Very good.
And then again, if you're an alcoholic beverage drinker, you're going to go for a very expensive beverage to make sure that you hit it to them. They have some wonderful specialty cocktails there. A very impressive espresso martini. They have some gin, tequila, and margarita type drinks you can have. So I'd say that's good. But did you know that this eatery is one of the very few places at Walt Disney World Resort that received a Michelin Guide recognition?
No, I did not.
Not even Monsieur Paul or Takemi Tai got that.
Ah.
So if you've not yet been, why not make a trip over and have a wonderful experience and let us know what you think about it?
And Coronado is a beautiful resort, especially if you're going for dinner and you're going to walk around at night when it's all lit up and everything. It's a gorgeous resort to walk around.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one is over at Disney Springs, and it's the Edison. And I'm putting this at joint kind of first for value for one table service credit. And the reason being is that they have amazing, amazing food. I really love their food. They have a New York strip steak, and you're going to hit it to Disney for $51. They have some phenomenal desserts as well. They have donuts, they have gelato, they have a brookie, they have a cheesecake, apple pie, they have house-made sorbet. They are all going to get this price point over $60. And then this place is really well known for its high roller cocktails, and some of them can get a little bit expensive. You know, you're looking at things like they have a classic, the Edison, which has got Woodford Reserve bourbon in. You can have a blood donor, which has got a tequila, blood orange mixed with Aperol liqueur and lime. All of these are between $19 and $20, so it's really going to get good value. However, I found a sneaky hack. If you want to have a meal for one credit and you want the best value and you want to see characters and you want to see Fantasmic, Minnie's seasonal dine at Hollywood and Vine, and you get that, you actually can get that. It's normally $81,
right?
But you can get it with the Fantasmic viewing package for one credit.
Wow, that'd be worth it then.
Yeah, I think it's not a place I personally would go to because I don't mind waiting for Fantasmic and I'm not a buffet fan. But if you wanted another alternative option where you got to see characters, you've got to have as much food as you want and a wide variety to suit different palates, and to see Fantasmic without having to sit for 90 minutes on a metal bench, then this is your best value, Craig. So let me know what you decide, because I'm very excited to hear back from you.
Interesting.
I am going to wrap up this week's show there and then. Have you got a question for us? info@disneydreamgirls.com, Instagram @disdreamgirls. You can support us financially via Patreon, patreon.com/DisneyDreamGirls. And while you're there, you can also, if you wish to support us, get access to years worth of past bonus content that's never been aired anywhere else apart from Patreon. Anyway, lovelies, I hope you have an amazing week. Fingers crossed, we will be back with you next week. But until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And bye from me.